Experimental research. Experimental design is the blueprint of the procedures that enables the researcher to test hypotheses by reaching valid conclusions about relationship between independent and dependent variable. It is defined as the research method in which a researcher objectively observes the phenomenon, which is made to occur in strictly controlled situation where one or more variables are varied and others are kept constant. The purpose of experimental research is to investigate cause and effect relationship by exposing one experimental group to one treatment condition and comparing results to one control group not receiving the treatment. Characteristics of experimental research. To test the cause and effect relationship between two or more variables. It is systematic, objective, or scientific. It usually has two groups: control group, not given any treatment, and experimental group, receives special treatment. It involves two kinds of tests: pre-test, taken before observation, and post-test, taken after observation. Involves comparison between results of pre-test and post-test. The comparison leads to an objective's conclusion of the research. Experimental design states a clear and unique roadmap for research. Sampling procedure. Both random and non-random sampling methods can be used in experimental research. Data collection tools. The common data collection in experimental research is done through pre-test and post-test. As we know, pre-test is related to existing knowledge, and post-test is related to extended knowledge. Effective treatment is equals to the difference between pre-test and post-test. Data analysis and procedure. The primary data for experimental research are usually the scores of pre-tests and post-test. These data are analyzed using statistical methods such as mean, standard deviation, etc. Types of experimental research. Pre-experimental design. It refers to the research design which involves only one group in the experiment. There is no control group in this type of research. It is least effective as it doesn't contain control group, so there is no way of equating groups that are used. True experimental design. All the basic features of experimental research are present in this type of research design, which means there are control group and experimental group both. Data are analyzed using means. Quasi-experimental design. The word quasi means partial, half, or pseudo. In case of quasi-experimental design, both types of groups are available, and both tests are available. The result of pre-test and post-test of both groups compared for the conclusion. But the uniqueness of this research is that there is no random sampling for the groups. The experimental groups and control groups are formed by researchers purposively. Non-equivalent control groups. Time series. Multiple time series. Steps of experimental research. Step 1. Selection of research problem. Step 2. Formulation of hypothesis. Step 3. Development and validation of data collection tools. Step 4. Planning for controlling extraneous variables. Step 5. Experimentation and data collection. Step 6. Statistical testing and deriving conclusion.